Morning, everybody. It's Kathy. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so excited because I get to be here today at sunrise with you guys. And I chose that time on purpose because for me, and I'm hoping for you after you experience this with me today, it is our reminder that each day we can recreate our lives. We get a chance to do the do-over dance. And that is so beautiful, just to have that opportunity. Now, I am a surfer of the waves of the ocean and the waves of life. And you may not be a surfer of the ocean yet, but remember, you're never too late. And you are a surfer of the waves of life. You may not think of your life that way, but life is so much like the ocean, so connected to the ocean in ways you don't even realize yet. And what are the kind of waves that you might surf? In my 63 years of life, I have surfed waves of extreme loss, taking care of both my parents till they died. Waves of the loss of a long marriage. Waves of being knocked out when I was removed from a job where I had been doing what I loved for over 34 years. Just so many of those things. Yours may look like that. I don't know what it could look like to you, but we get so caught up in life, so stressed out, that we feel like life is over. And sometimes it looks like we're knocked out. Other times it looks like we're stressed out and burned out, and we don't even know it. But we lose that connection. And why do I surf? I surf because I love to surf. I spent my whole life trying to and fighting for doing what I loved. For what I loved when I was a kid was I want to twirl on the monkey bars. What? I have to wear a dress because I'm a girl? That makes no sense to me. And then it was, well, you can't play sports because you're a girl. And then it was, you want to be a firefighter? That was 1974. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to do what I got to do. So I did. And I was so grateful that as a kid, I had learned real resilience. I don't know how your childhood was. We all have stories and we all have meaning that come with them. But the meaning that I can put on some of mine was there was a reason I was thrown into the pool without the swimmies. And that reason was because I knew inside that I could float. And when I didn't know it, when I thought I was sinking, when I thought I was drowning, I had to reach back into that place where I just knew that whatever it was inside me. The resilience, the unstoppableness, the ability to really kind of be fearless from the inside out. Because outside circumstances, like I said, they're just like waves. And part of what I do and get to do now is help people do what they love. And I do it through life coaching. And one thing I do is I take people in the water. And you may wonder, why do I take people in the water? Well, part of it is that what you can get from surfing and what I get from surfing is so incredible. Because we grow up in a world where we get conditioned and we don't even realize that limits are not always, I'm not able to walk, I'm missing a leg. A lot of the time limits are, where were you told you can't? Where were you shoulding all over yourself? Where do you now look at things and say, well, I would, but I can't because? Those are limits that you don't see, that you don't even know exist, because we get them inside and they affect our life. We all have so much more potential than what we are tapping into. We have a true power that we're not even reaching. And power, when you talk to people about power, they're like, yeah, we want to be powerful. You know, I gotta say, the whole women's empowerment thing, yes, we wanted to vote. We would still like to get equal pay. But it kind of went array when we feel like we have this pressure. I felt it my whole life. I gotta not only save myself, I gotta save the world. I gotta help everybody else but myself. And when we do that, we lose track of the fact that we're falling apart. People come to me, they're stressed out, they're burned out, they've been knocked out, or they're struggling with really bad anxiety every day. And we are all doing, as my mentor Michael Neal says, the best we can with the thinking we have right now. And that thinking is clouded. It's like today when we see fog at sunrise and we think, oh my gosh, there's no sun. We don't think that about the sun. But I gotta tell you, we all go to those places where we think that about ourselves. We know the sun rises and sets. Well, when we set, when we get knocked down, we get back up, just like the sunrise. It's gonna come back and we can't always see it, but we lose track that we're still there. And where is there? There is that quiet place inside. That place that for me, the only place I had in my life at points of time where I could get out of my head. Are any of you guys overthinkers? Oh my gosh, I can overthink my overthinking and try to figure out why and how and all that stuff that I have no control over. Why is this like this in the world? How can I fix this? It makes me crazy. So the place that I would go is to the ocean. And I felt the peace from the outside at the ocean, but what it really was doing was creating that memory that I had that peace is always inside us. We have everything we need. I strive my whole life. Let me achieve this. Let me achieve that. You're telling me I can't? I can. I believe in the invisible. I also, with God, create the impossible. The universal energy, whatever you choose to call it, it's there. When you surf in the ocean, you feel it. In our life, we fight the waves. In the ocean, when we're surfing, we use the energy of the waves. I fought for 58 years of my life. And we get damn good at fighting, you guys. We're very smart. We're able to logically figure it all out. But that kind of stuff is only tapping the surface of what we're capable of. And we find it in the ocean. So I bring people to the ocean and they say, I'm never gonna surf, I'm afraid. We all have fears. The thing that scares me still in life, big waves. Not big waves in life, I'll throw myself into those. And I know that waves come in things that I experience that kind of suck, and things that I experience that are like, whoa, like extreme joy and fun. But it just all is part of the experience. And when we don't make it mean something, when we're able to just experience it. As a kid, I could never experience sadness. When you're thrown in with no wings and you're supposed to swim, you better suck it up. And you get really good at sucking it up until everything falls apart in you. And then you no longer suck it up. But you learn that sadness too is part of life. And when we just are okay in it, knowing that no matter what goes on outside us, we are always already okay. When we know that we are born perfect to be us, we can be us because we don't have to do enough to be okay. We're already enough. And in a culture where I believe we tend to function a little bit like medicine, let me diagnose something that's wrong with you. Let me give you a prescription, a pill, and we'll fix it. And, you know, if I have bones sticking out, I'm going to a doctor too. But the key is, what if you didn't ever need fixing? What if you just knew that it was just a myth, that you had to keep doing and doing and doing and work harder and harder to get what you wanted, to get to this place of there that doesn't exist because you've been there since the day you were born. You've been okay. You have an innate ability to heal yourself mentally, physically. Yes, there are things that we do that help that. But it's not like we need to fix humans. The ocean never worries about being fixed. Today, there's nobody running around going, oh my gosh, we can't see the sun. It was supposed to rise. What the hell's wrong with the sun? We better fix it. No, it's gonna rise in its time. And no matter where you are in your life, you're gonna rise and you're gonna fall. You're gonna have waves that you think, yikes. Now, I can tell you, I fought waves in the ocean less than I fought them in my life. I had a client out a week ago surfing, and she says, oh my gosh, my anxiety stopped bothering me when I realized I didn't need to fight the waves. She goes, now you got me on a board and I see, oh my gosh, I can't fight these waves. No. But what's the first step for people? When you get in the water, a place you're afraid of, a place you're uncomfortable. All of my life, I really did well and had a gift for helping people feel comfortable in the uncomfortable. Going to Catholic school, I tell you, I taught kids into some crazy shit the nuns didn't like, but oh my gosh, they were comfortable doing it with me. And it was fun. And when people can be comfortable in the uncomfortable, comfortable in the unknown, comfortable going in the ocean when you can't see what's coming, it helps in life, because you certainly don't see what's coming in your life. You're driving down the street, you get in an accident, you didn't see that coming, but it happened. Now what's next? So number one, going in the ocean, the way we go in life, is like, look at the ocean right now. It has waves. The sun is there even though we don't see it. Those things are going automatically. That energy lives inside of us. So just knowing that it's going to work out, we can be present. And I work with teenage girls teaching leadership and life skills at surf camps. And the first thing I tell them is, we gotta be fully present. And why is that when you go in the ocean? One, you're gonna step into and fight huge sets of waves. Not today, but some days. You're gonna fight these massive sets, and you're gonna get the shit beat out of you. And if you were aware and watched, you could time it so, yeah, you're still gonna face those. Because you don't wanna turn your board because you'll get whacked on the head with that. But you're gonna face those waves and go out, but you're gonna wait until they pass, and then you're gonna use the current that pulls you back out to ride the current out, instead of getting beat to heck by those waves. I am a surfer of the ocean and life. And I know that you guys, maybe you haven't been a surfer of the ocean yet, but you are a surfer of life. Now you may look at me and think, what? She surfs? She's like old. How can she do that? And what I say to that is, well, says who? I'm too old. Well, to be honest, sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, holy shit, who is that old person? But inside, I don't feel like the old person. And inside is where we all are our real selves. I mean, if you think about it, we all run around in a little bit different looking body. But if we were to strip everybody's body off, or everybody's skin, inside we're all the same. So I still feel like a kid. But how do I do what I love, even though I am old? Well, I feel really blessed every time I get another sunrise, because there have been times that I didn't think I was gonna get another sunrise. And there have been times I was told, you're not gonna see very many sunrises. But you know what? Those things are people's opinion. And you have got to do what you love, no matter what. When you're passionate about something, when you feel that you know this is the path you want to take. And when I talk about paths, there's a line in the song that I wrote, Says Who, that talks about you might not know where your path may lead, but you know inside that you have the key. Now, I was one of those people, you guys might be too, where I would set my sights on a goal and I would get there no matter what. Sometimes it damn near killed me. And that was another thing that could have kept me from surfing, was the stress. Oh my gosh, my body was like completely falling apart. My mind had fallen apart, my emotions had fallen apart. The only thing going was my spiritual energy and my passion for what I was doing. And when that all falls apart, it really comes down to that inner knowing that you're gonna be okay, that you can still go on, that it's never too late, that you're never too, whatever the messages are in your head that tell you, no, you had this, so you cannot do anything different. Excuse me. There are like so many little bugs going by, I think I'm inhaling some of them. Kind of like life, huh? Sometimes we just eat the bugs. But anyway, so when you look in the mirror, look inside yourself and look outside, because you are far more beautiful than you know. I know you are way more powerful than you know. I believe that we have so much untapped potential. I used to love hiring people. I was a supervisor and a manager for many years in a bureaucracy of all things. And I would love hiring people who everybody said, oh, don't hire that person, they're a problem. Because you know what? Those people had so much creativity. They had so much untapped potential because everyone had told them they would never amount to anything. They couldn't do anything. They didn't know how. Talk about don't know how. How do we learn something? When I work with the young girls for surfing and leadership and life skills through it, they are worried about learning to surf because they feel like they need to be confident first. And then when they're confident, they'll go try, but then they might not be good enough when they first go. Well, I gotta be honest with you, we're not good at anything until we do it. Some of us have different things, all of us have different things that we may like better, so we do more of it and we get better at it. But anybody can do anything if you put in time, if you put your attention on it. If you want to be good at surfing, if you want to know how to surf, you have to go surf. So the number one thing in life that you do, just like when I go surfing, you show up. And if all you ever do is show up for life, show up for yourself, you will feel your inner power, your inner strength growing because you build that skill. You build confidence when you do it. You can't be confident that you're going to do something you've never done. I mean, if you were confident you went out on a huge wave day, you likely would have an issue if you didn't know how to surf. I don't go out on waves that are too big for me because I don't have the confidence yet. I don't have the skills. I do it a little bit at a time. So know that those things are still possible for you anytime, for anybody. And that you build skill and confidence. In the book Says Who that just came out, Shammy, my dog, it's about her journey to be a mermaid and to be a surfer, even though everybody told her she couldn't because she was a cockapoo. And she's kind of like me. People tell me, oh, you're too old to surf. I'm like, old? Well, they go, well, you're too injured. And I'm like, injured? They're like, what is too? I still want to do it, so I can. So Shammy just started showing up. That's all she did, and she gained more confidence in surfing. She also has a fear of the water, so it was great because Shammy stayed on the board. But she talks about confidence and skill being a result in the book because they are. They're not something we have to have first. Yet we think in life we have to be confident in something. And sometimes we appear confident and we're scared as shit on the inside. But the outside says, I'm confident, I got this. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's journey, a quick trip to the ocean with me, to the ocean of your life, to help you to see that any of us can recreate from a clean slate the life that we really want, instead of living the life we thought we should. If you're stressed out, if you're burned out, if you're struggling with anxiety and overwhelm, those are all just part of the conditioning that exists in the world. And you have a choice whether you try to fit in and live the life that you believe the world is telling you to live, or that you create the life that you want to live, regardless of what you see outside you. And I know that I have recreated my life many times. I'm recreating it every day now. And I know for sure that anybody can do that at any time, including you. So what is that area in your life that you would like to feel more comfortable, more confident, more at peace with, so that you could create what you want? And it's so possible. It's so inside you right now. You have everything you need. And when you're able to step into and realize that you already have it, you stop the fighting and you show up from that space of love, and everything shifts. You shift. Everybody in your life starts shifting. And that's how you're able to create the life you want. Life is not always rainbows and unicorns for any of us. We have those days. I've had those days when the doctor says, oh, you have cancer. That's not something that's easy for any of us. It's challenging. But when we remember, oh, it's the story and the meaning that I'm putting with that. I work with cancer survivors. And when they leave knowing that they already have everything inside, they have a lightness about it that, yeah, we get things, but they don't have to live us. We can have full aliveness regardless of what we have. We can feel fully alive and engaged every day. And there's joy and there's peace along that journey. I know when I was on the journey of, I gotta do more, I gotta work harder, I gotta accomplish more, there was not a lot of joy and peace on that journey. There was fun, there was times that were good, but I was rating everything as, oh, this is good times, this is bad times. And really, when we can have it all just feel like it's part of life and that we're dancing with life. Now, why do we want to dance with life? Well, the way that we are able to do things that we feel we can't, that we feel are impossible, is for us to tap into that greater energy that's able to make those things happen. And you guys can do that. It does not matter where you're coming from or where you've been. And you don't need to worry about where you're going as much as you do or as much as you did in your past. Are any of you guys control freaks? Boy, I was a control freak. And when I let go, I saw so much choice and possibility. Now, one thing that I know that our creativity builds out of necessity. But when we tap into it and then we're able to keep that creative spirit alive in our life, then we're able to see choices, we're able to see possibilities for ourselves that we never saw. One of the things I love, absolutely love, is watching my clients wake up and become fully alive. And they start seeing the choices and the possibilities that I could see inside them from the beginning, but they weren't able to see. And when they tap into those, I tell you, they are lit up, alive, and just fully engaged in everything they're doing. And it doesn't matter what it is, they're still engaged in it. And then they move on to the next thing. So the path can be beautiful. The path can be, what's my next step? We worry too much about, I gotta have it all planned out. I need to know the next 20 steps. And really, when we do that, we're eliminating what our real path is. When we can take one step and just stay there, that's where you find your next step. When you ride one wave in the ocean, you ride it all the way to shore, and then you turn around and you go, let me go out and see if there's another one for me. And then you hop on one. Some of the waves you hop on, you just like eat it. And you go, well, that wasn't my wave. It was fun for a few minutes, and then I ate it. And you hop on some, and you ride all the way across. We don't know how long the ride is going to be. But when we can just be at one with that energy and feel the ride and feel like we're really dancing with life. We're not fighting life. We're not trying to control life. We're not trying to control what isn't ours. When we ask ourselves the question, says who is so simple in terms of control, because says who that you have to, or you could even control what everybody else does. And when you let go of that, you find a new time, new energy, many things that come into you. So I hope that you're able to take some of these things with you today and that they can help inspire and serve you. If you would like to get a hold of me, you can find me on Instagram at Recreate Beyond Limits. You can also find me on my website at recreatebeyondlimits.com or at sayswhoisyou.com. I'm from Ventura, California, but I get to play with people all over the world. And I've had so much fun playing with you guys. I hope that something in you feels a little more alive, a little more hopeful that you're going to be okay. You are okay right where you are right now. I love you guys. Goodbye.